What is up, guys? It's your boy Lance back at it again with a new SSR review. Today we're gonna look at everybody's favorite plant boy, Gorybas, also known as one of the generals of the Dark Matter Thieves. His screen time total is around 2 to 3 minutes because he just got wow like that by Saitama. So, as an introduction, he is a core unit to dot lineups. The other being Combo Infinity if you want to have a cheaper option. But Gorybas is definitely a glow up from Combo. His attack percentage passive is insane, although it does not stack with other passive like Dr. Janus, so it might be nulled a little bit. He also fits into almost every single meta up until Euro meta. Then he sees a steep decline once one-shots and assassins are prevalent, such as Genos as well as RNG. It only requires 4 stars as well, so you don't really need to hyper invest into him, so you can continue training your LSSR. Now his cons. He has high cost as mentioned before. You need to buy his shards via gems and you can only forge him. You cannot actually obtain him via the regular character recruit. It also requires a lot of materials, especially when Euro meta rolls around. You're going to need a lot of Esper resources because you're going to be might be training a few filler units, or you might be pulling Phoenix Man, Euro himself, RMG. So you might want to think twice about getting Gorybas now if you haven't got him yet. He also mess up energy generation in Zombie Man Core, as it does not inflict injury nor does he provide any form of tenacity. It really doesn't generate any energy, so it might mess up the layering of AoE attacks. He also must be speed 1, mostly because of his passive buff, as well as inflicting corrode on the enemy, so that Vaccine Man passive can take full effect immediately. So let's go with the abilities breakdown. His passive is also known as Acid Affinity. So corroded enemies increase attack by 10%, and this works in a unique passive form of way, so you need to hit 3 separate units with corrode for it to stack to 30%. At extreme passive, which is 5 stars, the corroded enemy increases the attack by 15% instead of 10%, so you have a 5% increase per rank. It stacks 3 times to a total of a whopping 45%. That's as close to a 50% damage boost as you are going to get. So let's have a look at how it procs. So in this scene, Gorybas ults, and you can see immediately that number one, I don't have any energy to work with until Golden Ball attacks. Then Garo follows up and procs an internal injury on the enemy. And you can see right around here, see the attack increase icon. That's actually Gorybas passive working. So his basic attack is known as Double Bite. So it's a very simple attack. It hits a single target for 120% damage and inflicts corrode if he crits. So you can see it from here. Pretty simple because it's a basic attack as mentioned. So now we get onto his bread and butter ability, also known as Acid Breath. So he attacks a row dealing 130% damage, and he corrodes the main target. If he crits, he can corrode multiple targets. This works the same with his Ultra Ultimate, and the only difference being that his ultimate damage goes up by 35%. So let's have a look at it, shall we? So this is the reason why most people get Gorybas, is mostly just to get this, number one, use his ultimate to get corrode. So not many people actually use Double Bite. And it's also to get the attack passive, because then you can just send Dr. Janus in this lineup if you don't have him. So now we are moving forward to the meta-analysis, where we're going to look at Gorybas and how he fares in the competitive current meta. What is up, guys, and welcome back to a new session of meta analysis, where we're going to look at our boy Gorybas. So I've already fitted the big boy into our lineup. And we're gonna have a look and see how well he performs against some of the notorious enemies in 14. So we're going up against my bro's sons over here. So I'm not gonna run it on auto. I'm actually gonna manual it. So we're gonna see how it works. So with this, my enemy is faster, but I don't proc an internal injury. But I actually get value from tenacity. So in this situation, Gorybas is in a best case scenario type of thing. But as you can see, he's pretty weak, so he just immediately dies. Now, some people to combat this, they will use a Tank Top Master at the back line. Unfortunately, my Tank Top Master isn't really well built, so I can only afford to use Silver Fang. And I have better Espers in King. So why would I want to downgrade my Zombie Man slots with Gorybas? So he's not really one of the best performing characters in the meta currently, but he is still a solid choice. It's just that his stats are just too paper, especially if you're not really over investing like I am. It's just better to invest into other monsters like CK. CK is such a way better investment. And if you're talking about monster espers, you might as well get something like Phoenix Man to pair up with Vaccine Man after this if you want to. Because Gorybas, I would say to an extent, is a bit overrated, and his time has already passed in Zombie Man Core. He might have a small comeback with Core just because Core has a lot of max HP. He had 60% more HP based on his Core 1. So it's a pretty good sign that Gorybas might be able to rise to fame again. However, for the time being, Gorybas seems to be null and muted a little bit. So I'm just gonna finish up this battle with Suns. Because as you can see, it just comes down to who has the stronger CK and who has the stronger Goketsu at this point. Gorybas is more or less a null factor when it comes to PvP already, just because he's just too soft, guys. And nobody really runs HP Gorybas. I don't think I've ever seen HP Gorybas yet. Somebody might be running it and I don't know about it. But yeah, from my perceptions now, it doesn't seem to be a thing. So just Goketsu things. So, to be honest, it really doesn't matter how much you're investing into Gorybas. If you got him as a main nuker, then possibly he will be pretty strong. But from my perception, he's not that good of a character at the moment. My opinions might change when Goro Meta is out because as I said, he will have more hit points to work with. And he has added bonus of having Berserk in round 1, so his damage will go up by quite a bit. It could be due to my gearings. I wish I had an attack percentage over here, and I wish I had one more attack percentage for Monk set, but I only have it on purple if I'm not mistaken, so I'm not really too keen on that, and I kind of want more speed on my Gorybas as well. So probably he's still a good character in Monster Tournament, but with Goketsu on, I think his health problems will still be a major problem. That's it for this session of meta analysis, everybody. Unfortunately, Gorybas' reign on the competitive meta seems to be dwindling a little bit, and it seems to be going further south from here. Nevertheless, I'll keep you guys updated if there's anything to come from it. Back to the video. And we're back. Welcome to Material Expense. So for Gorybas, you're recommended to stop at 4 stars just because it's just way too expensive for you to push forward to 5. You can obtain his shards via the mystery shop every day, but you're recommended to buy on Thursday when it's discounted. Now, if you want to pursue 5 stars, you're going to need 239 shards and 343 badges total. But you're not recommended to do so. But if you're planning to use Gorybas as your main Esper, I suggest you push for it. Awakening wise, you need 2 to 3 stars minimum. You're going to need to have the 2 star for the crit chance up so that you're able to land multiple corrode on multiple characters. And 3 stars for the crit damage is also pretty nice, but it's not essential. Regarding his gearing, you can run formal 3 attack speed, 1 attack if you are lucky enough to get that set. Unfortunately for me, my formal gear luck is horrible. So I run personally a monk 2 attack speed and 2 attack, but sometimes I alternate with 3 attack speed and 1 just base attack, just because I feel like the orange attack is worth more than the 2 purple attacks. So you can alternate and see which one gives you the highest attack value, because that's just what you're looking for. His talent is True Strike at tier 3 main talent, and you're recommended to get it if you want to use Gorybas more often. And sigils wise, you have Sharp, Sword and Vitality. You can also get Piercing if the enemy has a Silver Fang or a strong Tenacity generator, which is in the front line. Buff gears wise, you should always roll for 3 attack. If you try to get 3 oranges, unfortunately I am not that lucky, so I just sub in a purple orange temporarily. Now let's get on to his major issues. Firstly is his insane cost. You're going to need 300 diamonds per shard, and with the discount it's still not as low as you need it to be, but it's still better. At the same time, you're going to need 80 to synthesize him / fuse him, so you're still going to have northwards of 20,000 diamonds to spend on one character. It also requires specific sets, namely Formal and Monk, which are not really that easy to get. You can get both via the shop, but you can only get Formal via HXM, and you can only get Monk via CC. So not exactly the easiest sets to get. He's also extremely soft and has quite low survivability, hence I recommend the Vitality Sigils. And in most compositions, 1 Garo Chop is more than enough to take him out. His value only when paired with Vaccine Man, so that means your 2 slots for Zombie Man core is up, but that means that in Gyro meta, you have 2 filler slot characters already, so it has its pros and cons to it. There's also the biggest thorn in the side. There's no energy generation in Zombie Man core. What does this mean? This means that your layering for skills will be horribly interrupted. Even with Garo following up for internal injury, it is very unlikely that you will be able to make full use of it unless you try to speed tune your team to make sure that you alternate between yourself and your enemy ulting, which is just way too much work. So in my opinion, Gorybas is a very good Esper to push through to Euro meta, but during Zombie Man meta he kinda crawls a bit. That's it for this video, everybody. I hope that my tips and tricks actually provide some context for you to make a decision on whether to push forward your Gorybas or not. In the end of the day, please make sure that whatever you do, you try to consult with someone else to get a second opinion. You can always contact me via my Discord or my email down in the description. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to this session of SSR review. Till we meet again. Peace.